When he does something that's wrong, let's say it as is. That doesn't mean we don't support him, because he's the only member of the family that's seeking justice for that for Mohbad.
Where you all got
Okay,
it from.
so every one of us, we love him. Like yesterday when Paparano was even dragging him, I had to leave because I couldn't stand it. Okay, so that's how much you know. That's how just to let you know how much I root for this man. Okay, but when he does something wrong, let's say it as it is. You understand? But you coming here trying to say, oh, you don't know this, you don't know that, and putting things like you're trying to push a wrong narrative, okay, as if, oh, this guy just started talking, he just started going against this man. What was the background information? What happened? Where did it start? Where are they right now? What happened? Why did he change mouth about these people?
It didn't just start.
So if you notice there is a game going on, okay, you think he should be romancing them and not say it as is, as a foundation? What about his own reputation?
Okay, so can I say something now? Please, can I just say something? So first of all, let me tell you something. You have a foundation. Remember what I said? Empathy.
Sorry, I did before you say what you want to say. How long have you been in this? No, how long have you been in this?
But you say you don't know it, but you know the person, you know the conveyor of the foundation or no? You know there's a foundation. Who is the conveyor of that foundation? You said you don't know that person, right?
Adedoyi, can I
You're
just
not
say
just
something?
real. You're not a real
can I say
person.
something? MLH, can I say something? Adedoyi, we're all here.
It falls into that category of people that would act before they think. They don't look at the consequences of the action. They come out with emotion, fury, and they go boom. So that's a weakness against Sam Clef. And VDM used that in profiling those he wanted to first mention. The third person is Dre DMW. And why? Dear DMW is...
Sorry. Let me interrupt you for 30 seconds, please. You see, Sam Clare is a typical definition of when they say, I've been gate, no biam. You see, he's full of himself. He doesn't want to accept that he's a loser, that his time has passed. So, and that is always putting him in a situation to make mistake all the time. So, continue. I accept that, and I agree with you 100%.
Okay, thank you very much. Then the third person being Dre DMW. Again, why he would pick someone like that again is because of the affiliation he has with a big star. Davido is a household name, not only in Nigeria, in Africa, and in the world at large. So being called into a chat of that nature and given his position as a PR, and that's what he describes himself, of Davido, has a very huge consequence on him and also the artist that he works for. So there are tendencies that he may come out or he may not come out because of what is at stake. Do you get it? So I believe they profiled the list. And then when he first introduced that chat, and then I think there's this other guy, what's his name again? Aloma or something. But that one has always been very quiet. And even when it was with Davido, he has always been behind the scene kind of guy, right? So not really so much emphasis, but those other three were the people he really focused on, with the hope that one of them would make a mistake and validate that group chat, because it was very necessary that that group chat must be validated that it does really exist in it. And the only people that can validate it would be the participants in that group chat itself. Now, Jigon, because of the kind of personality he is, he was looking more at, oh, this is a big blow to my business. I need to quickly come out, need to quickly massage people's ego so that they let me off and I can go about my business. Came out, boom. And what did he do? He validated that group chat. So there was no way anyone can come out again and say, oh, this does not exist and that this is AI. That was something that was very critical that VDM needed to establish. And he did that, right? Jigon fell into the trap by validating it. By the time Jigon did it, there was nothing else that could have been done. Typically, I would have expected that, given the fact that these people have been in the media space for years, when people bring out something like that is indicting, they should have called each other to coordinate first and think of how they want to respond to it. But you could tell that they weren't coordinated. That is why Jigon came out, and then the next thing, Sam Clef too came out. Boom. Two people that he was counting his, let me say, is it a bet? It's a bet. It's a gamble one way or the other. He was counting on, and they did react to it, right? And all that. At that point in time, nothing to coordinate again. And then Iyabo had to come out to post because obviously people started talking, and then she had to come and play. And then again, after that, you would see that they now all kept quiet. Meaning what? They reinforced and they are now coordinated. And how would you know Iyabo removed that post she made, took it out? Jigon became quiet, except for Sam Clef that was just talking and ranting, and not ranting on the topic, but trying to bring out other things to discredit VDM, but did not talk about the chat any longer. So they've coordinated already. With this, they left it to the public now to be the decider by keeping quiet. Obviously, you would know that some people, some of these people in this group chat have influences on some blogs. At that point in time, it was a case where they didn't need to come out directly now to defend themselves or to do the rebuttal, but they left it indirectly to the blogs and to the connect or the media that they had to start doing the debunking, to do the debunking. And what you would have noticed was that yesterday or even the day before, a lot of all the blogs began to converge, and they had a single mission, was to discredit VDM. It was a coordinated attack. Some did it by being very offensive. Some did it by being offensive, trying to infuriate him by bringing his mom into the picture, because they know that VDM can be very emotional when it comes to you mentioning his mom and insulting his mom. So they try to use that as a weakness to draw him out, to infuriate him so that he makes a mistake. That was one of the things. That's one of part of what they did. Secondly, some people started bringing out his past, the videos he made in his past, maybe the nudity and all that, all geared to remind people that, oh, the person you are believing is someone that also has a very, what do you call it, is a shady past. So it's not someone that is worth listening to, because there's also an appearance of, how I say it, not being reliable by bringing out the past to it. Some were focused on that. Another group were now focused on trying to change the narrative of the group chat. Oh, what they said is not indicting. What they said, there's nothing much to the chat. I can't see anything that was very, trying to, create that thing. And some people fell for it. Some people fell for it because they knew that because of the names of those people in that group chat, some people, because of the love they have for them, they will be blinded and biased, try to make an excuse or try to even create a justification in their mind that, oh, this person is not bad. And so anything that would make those people change, they were ready to do it with that narrative. So it was a coordinated attack against one single person, VDM. What I'll say happening right now, so that's one line of attack. The second one was now that when you see Jigon bringing out some of these posts, he's bringing about his number being leaked, and then of course his TikTok account being banned. Yeah, you would know that this is now in consultation with a lawyer. A lawyer or somebody very vast in media is now working behind the scene. And what are they trying to do? They are trying to build a case now. trying to build a case against VDM that, oh, he leaked out their information, their identity, personal information, and by virtue of that, this is what it has cost them, blah, blah, blah. And then the next thing, you won't be surprised if Jigona begins to institute an action against VDM. That's the whole agenda of what Jigon is trying to do. And if you look at the live video that Jigon has made after that, after the first one he made, you'll see that the way he's talking in such a way that, oh, bring what you have. You don't have anything, like somebody that has been gingered, come out and talk, debunk it. There's nothing he can do about it because there's somebody working behind the scene. But the mistake is that you can talk and say, oh, yes, you don't have anything. Not everybody only looks or listens to what you say. Some of us look at body language in how you speak. You can be saying A, and we are listening to your A, but to be able to give credibility to your A, we will look at B also. And what B is, what if your B tallies with your A, and we'll take it and say, okay, yes, this is great. In this case, Jigon's statement did not match his body countenance. His body countenance has the hair of someone that is not certain. It has the countenance of someone who is unsure, but who has been pushed to come out because they are trying to create a narrative and then try to build a case. That's what is happening with Jigon right now. Anybody that understands that game Jigon is playing would know that in this case here, there's really nothing strong enough to build. It's for VDM not to reciprocate and listen to him because it's a way to bring VDM out, to respond to him. And unfortunately, I've started saying that VDM has started making some messages in his, I think, is it his Instagram reels or something, trying to respond back to them, but not, doing it in the form of a video. I would even suggest that he doesn't even make any comment. He doesn't even say anything. Whatever it is he wants to say pertaining to that group chat, he should come out with that same element of surprise that he has been using against them and bring out his evidence. Albeit not bring out everything because he needs to have a joker in his hand also just in case they want to play funny. You don't release all your arsenal in war. You keep some. Your prized treasure, you keep it to your chest and wait until if things become critical emergency. In this case, I wouldn't even advise him to. So if you see, VDM has started playing that game also, now releasing the docu-series in bits, also not bringing out the full evidence that he has, but he also at the same time creating his narrative, building his narrative, and keeping people's attention glued to what he's saying. Why is this important? It's important because on the other side of the people there, they're also playing a game with him also. They are keeping quiet, they are not saying anything because they are playing a waiting game. Shebi is you that have the evidence, bring everything else. When you bring everything you have, create your summary and you create your conclusion, then we would attack. So it's a wait. So there's a time element occurring right now. Where they are waiting, they are not saying anything. They are using blogs to do the narrative. They've even brought out, is it Mr. Polo, who is also coming out with, oh, let's make it peaceful. You can resolve it. It's not that big and all that. Just so that they can manage the situation. Why? He has launched a war. If he does not finish it, the enemy will kill him. That's a war game. You cannot enter into a war and then retreat and expect that the enemy will not retaliate. The enemy will retaliate. So the enemy will either wait until you finish playing out your arsenal, playing out all the weapons you have, and then they strike. Right? So that's what they are doing currently right now. They are doing a waiting game, but at the same time also using the blogs to debunk, using the blog to attack, and they now brought in Jigon because Jigon now is, the one who actually was the weakest link that made them get into this situation. It is also necessary that, okay, since you are the one that had mouth to start talking, instead of you waiting, oh yeah, this is what you should play. This is your own script, and you must play it and bring your face out. That's what they're currently doing right now. If I were to be VDM, I will also play the same game also. How would I play the game? I'll play the game also by also gradually begin to reduce the amount of what I'm giving out in the group chat. I'll give you something, but not everything. I'll give you something, but not everything. Waiting to see who makes the mistake in this case. So everybody and everything that is happening, don't forget, As we are seeing it in the media space, there's also a lot happening behind the scene also. You won't be surprised if you see that there's a lot of talks happening behind the scene, if there's a lot of negotiations happening behind the scene. But one thing is very clear in the agenda is this. What this guy is simply saying is that what the coroner court has given and who they want to hang on this murder case is not enough to say you want to close the case. You want to say it's the nurse negligence and we should all keep quiet and accept it and move on. No, that is too weak. Because don't forget that the nurse that was brought in would not have administered anything on Mohbad without seeking the consent of someone to do so. The nurse would not appear from thin end to do that. Somebody must have given consent to treat Mohbad. That's one. Two, in terms of the consent, you guys all know that if you have an emergency in an hospital, right, and they need to perform an operation on somebody, who do they normally ask to sign the consent form, to be able to take that action? Oftentimes,
if you have, okay.
No, you can talk, magistrate. You want to say something?
No, I thought you asked question. You say if
yes.
they want to operate,
if they want to perform an operation, yes.
Yeah.
Who do they normally ask to sign?
If you have a wife, obviously, if you have a partner, your partner will sign. If you don't have your parents.
Thank you very much. So you see that there's priority limit.
Yeah.
Correct. They're not even close friend. It's usually, are you the wife? The wife must be there first. If the wife is not there, that's where they now think of the parents, right? So in this case right now, forget about the multiple or the multitude of people that were in that room at the point when the drugs or whatever it is the nurse attended to him was there. The fact remains that the wife, who is crucial, gave consent for them to administer treatment in the home rather than doing the right thing, which is what? Taking the boy or taking the husband to the hospital where he would have gotten good medical or healthcare treatment. In this case, they did not do so. They did it, in a sketchy manner. So if you want the nurse to take the fall and say the nurse was negligent, who gave consent for the nurse to treat? Whoever it is that gave consent for the nurse to treat should also be found liable by virtue of that negligence also, and should be held accountable for it. They haven't done that in this case. And so you now coming to pitch the nurse as who to take the fall in this case is not enough. And I think that's what I would imagine. I'm not saying I know what's going on behind the scene. I'm just only reasoning it out the way we are also thinking it through. Is that behind the scene, whatever it is, the government and those that are probably behind the scene orchestrating it would be forced to come back and revisit that judgment and make something that will give everybody what they will say, okay, fine, at least to a fair extent, justice to an extent has been achieved, if not fully achieved, but at least to an extent, give us a bit of closure. And I think that's what that particular thing VDM is trying to do would ultimately yield to. And by so doing so, the issue of Naira Marley and co, to an extent, also wears out because, yes, we all now know that, okay, yes, Naira Marley and co were not found, are not guilty of murder, even though there is a bully case. But bully cases has a lesser offense than capital murder. You understand? You can never say, okay, in the case of bully, they will sentence them to death. Or even if they narrow down the case from capital offense of murder to manslaughter, it should have been a case of life imprisonment. That's what they get in that instance. A bully case will never give you that. A bully case will give you at worst maybe 1 or 2 years imprisonment, even with an option of fine also to pay in this case. So I want to believe that this is to force the government to deal and change that particular judgment which they've given, where they are saying the nurse should be the fall person to take, the fall for the murder case. It's just not going to work. And I want to believe that they will come to that level where they will bring that narrative into it. For now, I'll just rest my case. And if anybody has a question, I can answer it if I have answer to it. But that's what I just feel is what is playing out.
I actually have a question because the problem now is that, remember, they have put everything on Mohbad. They said when the nurse came, Mohbad spoke to the nurse. Mohbad was conscious. It was Mohbad that gave them the go-ahead, that gave the nurse the go-ahead. And
it is
also,
when somebody is in the hospital, even when the patient or the patient, whoever it is that is an emergency, seems to have a level of consciousness, is it the person that they will give consent to do the operation or to treat? Magistrate.
Oh no.
They won't be, because at that point it's assumed that the person is not in a rational state. The person is not in a rational state. So whatever I see the person is saying at that point in time is not rational enough to be able to take a decision on what is going on at that moment there. It is somebody that is a bystander that is seeing what is happening. And that is why they always say that that duty of care should be with the spouse, the wife. If he doesn't have a wife, then the parent or the guardian of the person. So even if Mohbad gave a consent to it, how true can we say it is that he gave a consent to it? Don't forget, this person is dead already. Is their statement against Mohbad. And unfortunately, Mohbad is not available to be able to confirm and say that, yes, truly, he was the one that gave that consent to it. And secondly, also, even if Mohbad has given that consent, in the case of an emergency, seeing how his health is feeling, and you see that this is about his life-threatening, it shouldn't be Mohbad that should have that decision also as to who treats him. It should be his wife, and in case if he doesn't have a wife, the parent or the guardian. So they cannot really, to an extent, use that angle to alienate from a case of negligence, which is what I see happening in this particular instance. I don't see how that works. And I feel that that judgment, to all extent and purposes, is very faulty, and it doesn't make sense in that.
Yes, you're absolutely right. The next of kin is the main person here, right? And the next of kin is Wumi. Simple. There's no two ways about it. Thank
Correct.
you.
You're welcome.
Bonus.
But I have a question.
Thank you very much, Ramsey.
Ramsey. And my question is from the comments. Someone said in the comment that if he was conscious, if he gave a consent and he was conscious, why was he carried to the other room in a rush?
They said it was when, after the injection, when he started vomiting, having goosebumps, this kind of thing. That was the time they have to transfer him. It was after the injection.
That Wumi was the one that was
at that time, when Mohbad was vomiting, Mohbad was in an emergency state, right?
Sorry, please. Please.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Where Wumi was escorting the nurse into the house. Can you explain it together?
Okay.
Said that video was fake.
Okay, so can I just quickly hi everyone.
Hi.
So as of
okay,
that time,
let me just answer him, please. She asked me that what about the video footage that they opened the door for the nurse? That video, they said it was fake. That was not Mohbad house. Okay, really easy. Is or what?
Yes.
They say it was fake. It was not Mohbad's house.
Do you want to go? Or I should go?
It's Adode, yeah, Adode.
okay, so thank you. So as of that time, when Mohbad was being carried, that is to tell us that Mohbad was in a serious situation. He was in a dire situation. So you want to tell me that somebody who is so sick, for them to have carried Mohbad, that is to tell us that Mohbad was in a dire serious situation. That incriminated all of them. Look, he was in a serious situation. That was why they carried him. He couldn't walk by himself. They had to carry him for that. For them to carry Mohbad to the second room, that is to tell me that they gave the consent the second time for the nurse to continue to treat Mohbad. Now, let's assume that, okay, now it's okay. The first time, Mohbad agreed to be treated. The second time that they had to carry him from his first room, that is to tell us that this guy was not, he couldn't make decisions. He could not make decisions for himself when they carried him to the second room. That is a big issue right there. And I'm hearing this for the first time, actually. I type it there because I heard it and I just throw it out there just to make sure if it was true. And it is true. For them to have touched Mohbad and carried him to the second room, that is a big issue right there. And I will go back again to the coroner. I will go back again to the coroner. Like I said yesterday, the magistrate have no right to have given that judgment. It is not in our jurisdiction to do that. It is a fact-finding court. She was supposed to find what happened to Mohbad, not to give verdict. That is not what it's for.
Are they doing?
So I'm just going to stop right there.
It is a recommendation.
It was just a recommendation. It's not
I agree
a
with you on the.
It's not even a recommendation.
I agree with you on the handling
advice.
of Mohbad.
I think it was.
If that happens in the room,
She's not supposed to give an advice to it.
The handling of Mohbad. One second. The handling of Mohbad.
When you have a coroner inquest, please give me a second, please. Please give me a minute. I'm sorry. Give me a minute, please. Out of due respect to everybody, the magistrate. It shouldn't have given that. It is not in a place to have given that. No.
I agree with you, Adedoyin.
She has no right. She can. What the coroner is to look for what kid. Just
it's
to
an
investigate.
Inquest. It's an inquest.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, coroner inquest. Yes, yeah. You can just say coroner. Yeah, coroner inquest is to see what, when, who, what happened. What she did is just that I'm not sure if whoever followed them to the court or whoever the lawyer, whoever is, I'm not sure if they are thinking. She has no right to give that. She cannot give a verdict. It is wrong. It is wrong. She can't give a verdict. It is totally wrong.
So who to blame?
Can I chime in? Can I chime in?
Are you blaming the?
Adedoyin.
Can I chime in?
Adedoyin. Let me say something. Can I say something? Adedoyin, you are right, but it's not a verdict. It's a recommendation. And the recommendation is a no. Okay, why did I say it's a no? It's a fact finding of what killed Mohbad, and all the result, the private result and the private autopsy says that inconclusive. So what I expect her to do is to ask the government to dig further. I advise the government to dig further. We can't find what killed Mohbad.
Yeah, further investigation, forensic.
Yeah, yes,
exactly. Forensic request for phone forensic.
Can I just say this?
To be done.
They wanted the case to die.
You see?
Can I say this? Can I just say this, please?
No. You see what she did? You see what she you see what she did, right? She could be investigated for that. No, seriously.
Sorry, Adedoyin.
No, listen, hold on, please. Hold on, give me a second. She could be investigated for that. And if you can, it's me, you can record whatever. She could be investigated for that. Now, as a coroner inquest, there are some, I heard somebody said, Mr. Loba's lawyer. No, not Mr. Loba's lawyer. During the COVID-19, right? Coroner inquest was opened up to investigate and see where the coronavirus actually came from, right? And the coroner inquest actually investigated that. The job of the coroner is to actually know what happened to Mohbad, to investigate it. It is not in any lawyer's place to be cross-examining, this, that. No. What they should have done, please, I don't want to speak out of emotion, so I'm just going to hold on, please.
Let me say this. I think, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. And let me join the house to say a big thanks to Ramsey for a wonderful submission. Now, you see, this corona inquest, either the judge, a recommendation from the magistrate should to be, or a verdict. You understand me? There's nothing from this corona inquest that should shock you. This corona inquest was staged and set up to cover the death of Mohbad. Why did I say so? One, we need to ask ourselves this very important question. Those people they brought to corona inquest, are they the right people they brought into corona inquest to questioning? When the lawyer is asking to bring Wunmi Adebanjo back to corona inquest, do they allow them to bring her back? What about the people inside the car where Mohbad was declared Mohbad is dead? Do they ever come into corona inquest? There's a lot of things that is being hidden in this corona inquest. That is why I don't believe in this corona inquest. Forget that he gave a verdict. This corona inquest is to cover the death of Mohbad. Let's put that one aside. It's not something that we should be discussing back and forth. Let's put that one aside. Let me go by the topic of Paparano, VDM, and Iyabo Ojo slightly. This is my own personal opinion. You see that group chat, to me, is for two things. Is to control the narration of what is happening during that time. To silence those who are truly seeking for justice for Mohbad. That is number one. You understand? And the second thing that I believe that group chat was created is to bring the Malians down. And let's try and go back. Immediately after the pandemic, I believe even the old people, the adult people, everybody has been calling themselves Malians. For some reason, when you look at that group
Sorry,
chat,
Miss Andy, I just didn't want to interrupt you because you are going to change the topic. I just wanted to just put out something. Please, apologies. To say that the corona inquest, in as much as they've given a recommendation, in this case right now, they're actually saying that there is medical negligence of the nurse. Medical negligence, well, what happens with the negligence, medical negligence? They are supposed to actually recommend for further criminal proceeding. In this case is now taken to the High Court, where there could be a civil proceedings or criminal proceedings instituted against, action being taking place here. Whatever recommendation she's giving is not final, right? It's just a recommendation. You can actually proceed to an High Court, either in the case of a criminal proceeding, if the state wants to prosecute it, and in the case of a civil action, if interested parties to the murder wants to prosecute it in this regard here. So it's two ways here. If the state feels that, they want to prosecute it, it goes criminal. But if they are not prosecuting it, Mohbad's father, or whoever it is that is interested in this case, can actually take it upon civil proceedings in that regard for it.
Okay, so you know that I made a comment about I think a month ago. I made a comment about a month ago.
Sorry for interjecting, Mr. Anthony. I just wanted to.
So I think I support you, Amazon. I made a comment about a month ago, and I think it was immediately after the corona court ended. I think I was on something Spider or something, a platform. I don't know, I can't remember now. And I told them, I said, right now, as it is right now, before the corona gave the verdict, before she actually gave the recommendation, I said, right now, I want Mr. Loba to go to, what's it called? The civil court and sue the nurse, put a big money on her. Let's say 500 million naira for actually, for negligence. I expected that.
Papariano have done that before. Papariano have said that more than 100 times.
Hold on, please. Yeah. I made mention of that. I said before the corona actually give any conclusion, please, their final conclusion, go and do that right now. That wasn't done. And I think sometimes it actually hurt me sometimes when you see people who are, I will not say professional. I don't want to use professional. I will say layman. Come on platform. Sometimes you don't know what they do. They just come and give these suggestions. It's because they actually have a passion for this case. Not because they want anything from the case. It's because they know where the case is heading to and they want to help in solving this case. Unfortunately, that wasn't done. And I also told, I think this was about 4 months ago. I think 4 or 3 months ago, I was on a short vacation and I was actually speaking from where I was. I said, okay, what they need to do is to get another lawyer to add to this SAN so that this lawyer could checkmate the SAN. That wasn't done. So many brilliant suggestions have been given in order to at least help this case. That wasn't done. That is why sometimes you see people like me, sometimes, we get so frustrated because you can see a right pathway. If that nurse, if they had gone to if they had sued that nurse, I bet you this case would have changed. But that wasn't done. Because Mr. Loba had the right to at least take this to a civil court. He had the right to do that.
So we did send S all those naughty gifts.
It's just unfortunate.
Mr. Andy, you can go now. Mr. Andy, you can talk, please.
No, let her continue. I'm just joking. Are they doing continue? Don't worry, I will wait for her.
Oh, she's finished. She's finished, please.
Okay, thank you. The last thing that I want to say is this. You see, I think what brought everybody on this issue is to find what killed Mohbad. You understand me? It's not what bullied Mohbad. And I believe that our primary goal should be what killed Mohbad. The secondary is after we unravel what killed Mohbad, we can be talking about bully. And don't forget, if you think that Nigerian police or Lagos State police, they don't know what they are doing. They know what they are doing. They really know what happens to Mohbad. That is why the first people or the first authority that clear Naira Marley and Sam Larry is the Lagos State police from the death of Mohbad. But regarding to bully, they put that one apart. And the second authority that clear Sam Larry and Nari is the DPP. And the last person, by the recommendation of the magistrate, Shotunbi, he cleared both of them as well. That tells you that when it comes to the death of Mohbad, you understand me, these people know nothing. I'm not talking about bully. You understand me? And I believe that anybody that is coming up with bully this time around is a distraction for justice for Mohbad. Our primary goal should be what killed Mohbad. Just like I said about a few minutes ago. You see, this issue of that group chat, now, the magistrates, we are all waiting. Maybe they are going to put the death of Mohbad on Naira Marley or Sam Larry. Those people that claim that they create that group chat for justice for Mohbad, do you see them coming out for how many weeks? The corona inquest have ended. Do you see them coming out shouting for justice for Mohbad? That tells you their aim and objective is to control the narration of what is going surrounding justice for Mohbad. And secondly, to bring Naira Marley down. We need to be honest with ourselves. We need to be honest with ourselves. They succeeded from these their two goals that I believe that was the reason. They succeeded. You understand me? They really succeeded. Now, the lady have made a brilliant submission. And I can tell you right now, there's some names on that chat that VDM have not bring out. VDM know how he's playing his game. If you are part of the group calling VDM should bring everything out, I think you need to rethink. You need to rethink If you are calling VDM to bring everything out and paste it, you need to rethink. Because VDM know how he's playing his game. There's some names. And I can tell you, because I study VDM very well, there's some things that he has not even revealed to the public that he is going to shock the whole world. Try, when you see VDM trying to analyze, explaining few things, try to read him. It might take you 2 days, 3 days before you understand what he's really saying. And there's a lot of things that is eating on that chat. Don't be surprised how they try to descend or manipulate Joseph Aloba on that group chat. If it's coming out tomorrow or next month, I will not be surprised. I will not be surprised. You understand me? Because there was a post sometimes ago that Iyabo Ojo claimed, Adeti Bebabati beg Joseph Aloba. Why are you begging Joseph Aloba? Begging him for what? Begging him for what? That is number one. During the time that you were agitating for justice for Mohbad, is Iyabo Ojo and Tonto Dike also went to Ebony at Lagos Island to go and get caskets? They wanted to bury Mohbad. The question we need to ask ourselves, why is Tonto Dike and Iyabo Ojo is in hurry to go and bury Mohbad? You that you claim that you are seeking for justice. You understand me? There's a lot of things that is eating in this justice for Mohbad. Now, I can now relate what the lawyer of VDM said about 2 weeks ago, that VDM, you are doing too much. Now, I begin to sense that there's a lot of things that they want to cover. And I love the way VDM came out. You will only die once, not twice. That is not special than the people.
So Andy, sorry to come in. You mentioned Iyabo Ojo and Tonto Dike buying the casket. Was it after the exhumation or before the exhumation?
That should be after the exhumation.
Okay, so that means the exhumation. Okay, maybe I should rephrase the question. Is that after the first autopsy or what?
I don't really know, but it's after they exhumed the body of Mohbad.
It was after they exhumed the body. I think they've taken the specimen and
for the autopsy.
Thank you, Jagumolu.
Yeah, I just want to be sure, because if they're the one that actually what I'm trying to say. Okay, thank you.
Richie,
Susan.
Richie, hold on. See, they took the pacement, and while the pacement is still there in Nigeria, they wanted to rush and bury Mohbad.
Thank you.
You understand?
That's what I wanted to
Because
understand.
at the time they were trying to rush to bury the Mohbad, because the pacement was still there in Nigeria. They have not sent it out.
No, but they've done the autopsy, the toxicology that was sent out, right?
Oh, sorry. This is what Susan is telling you, Rishi.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is they've done the autopsy, but they're waiting for the toxicology, which is the one that was sent out, right?
No, it was.
Remember, there was a time the police came out.
They manipulated the system.
Remember when they said the police?
This is what I'm trying to understand.
I want to explain to you, Richie. Let me explain to you, Richie.
Mm-hmm.
Remember when the police came out? It was then that said the autopsy result was out. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when they went to the thingy. They went to try to get coffin. They were planning to bury.
And at the time they told us that the autopsy was out, they have not done the autopsy. They have not done the toxicology.
That was fake, isn't it? That was a fake news.
No, they have done the autopsy, but they have not done the toxicology. They had told us that the autopsy result was out, but they were waiting for toxicology.
I'm the one telling you. Okay, tell them to put. Do you know the date of when they did the autopsy? Can they give you the date of when the autopsy was done?
We're going by what the police said.
And I'm going by what I know, that they haven't done it.
Evidence to show that they have not done it. But what you thought, do you have evidence to show that?
Okay, let them show you the autopsy that was done. Do they give you autopsy?
Well, I'm going by what is on the
So if
common
you
page.
want to quote the government, you want to
If you look at this situation of Mohbad, it's so broad. The reason why I'm saying it's so broad because, if you look at it, Mohbad need love at the beginning. He actually submitted himself to Naira Marley all in all. In one point, the parents get involved. In one point, Pasuma get involved. Most of the Fuji, musician, they get involved because Mohbad was actually advocating for himself, not for anything. No, he doesn't even have anything. He just say, I need my property. The property, all the things I've done. Give me 10% and I'm okay. Okay, why is it now that Naira Marley is telling Baba Mohbad, Emma, worry, don't worry. Now I've got everything intact for Mohbad. When you are ready, contact me. Why do you delay it? If you have done the normal, the needful for Mohbad, Mohbad could have just found his way. Mohbad could have found his way. But because Mohbad believed that you are owing him, and how can they be denying the guy for a show? And that guy cannot even put food for himself on the table. You know the lifestyle this guy is living before. And now you shocked him. It's like removing shock. You know what they call shocker? Remove that thing. And that guy, like, okay, what do you want me to do? Then give me something. I've done a lot of things in this industry. Give me my own part of it. Just give me part of it. Let's little. Now, one stupid lawyer that actually belongs to Bella's mother, what they call it, Slantan. All those circle, the same lawyer is still the same lawyer for Mohbad. So you should understand that kind of money. So these people they've done Mohbad wrong and they will not go scot-free. They will suffer for it. They will pay. That's what I'm telling everybody. Be careful who you support because just do your narrative or whatever or do your analysis. But if you support evil, if it is 10% or 1%, Mohbad will share it to you. That's why you have to be very careful. Sometimes if you don't have anything to say, that you don't have idea, just keep quiet until you understand the gravity of what they've done to Mohbad. Not even Mohbad alone. The family as a whole. Ogo family Kanye. And you people toy with that boy. To the extent that this so many things has happened behind the scene before Mohbad pine. Look at the ray. Look at the blood. You think it's ordinary? A lot of things happen. So Naira Marley, you are involved. Sam Larry, you are big involved. For those people that find Mohbad in that house that you saw, because when it comes to shut up your mouth, definitely, let me know. Okay, don't let me go there. Look at what they did to Davido, all those crew. There was a lot of noise, and they shot the guy straight away to teach some people lesson, and they keep quiet for the rest of their life. What happened to Ekun? When Ekun first started his career, Ekun thought the industry is so easy, like when Zlatan entered this guy's life, what happened? And with Likesh, what happened to him? They took him to Orioke because he nearly lost his life. In fact, he nearly died. They have to take him to the mountain to go and pray. If I lie, Ekun is online. You can ask him, Ekun, this thing is online. You can go and ask him there. He will tell you it's only God that saved him. Ekun graduated with Naira Marley and Wale Good or whatever. 3 of them. But what happened? They gave them only 2 years because Naira Marley is a stubborn man. He don't take any shit. Igbo Nikura. But he understand the game. He said he came to the industry. He's not a new to the game of Afro, but he wants to contribute. Why do you think this guy Ashake left the street for these people? There's a music they call street music, like Ajegunle. Don't even go there, because they will come for you, because that's their own lifestyle. So when you are talking about Afrobeat, there's another lifestyle in Afrobeat. Don't even go there. That's why Omole, yeah, when he did that music, he has to look for who can help, which is Davido. He rescued that guy from there. And what happened? I will be the first person to shine before you. Do you think Omole is shining? Davido is going everywhere with that music, and he can't say nothing. What happened to Ashake? Ashake, to look after his own family, he's still crying that to look after his own father. It's not that the money is much, but who is getting the 90%? Olamide, you can't talk shit because it's contracts. This is where Mohbad, they fail Mohbad, all of them. They fail this guy because they don't want this guy to grow. Do you think it's easy to deny somebody? You are seeing that money, you are seeing that ticket. Almost 70 million, 100 million that they've paid for your show, and somebody has to turn you down. Do you know how mental that person will go through? That person will go through mad. I don't even know how to put it. That person will go through mental torture. What have I done to this boss? Okay, forgive me now. But if you insist and say no, you will suffer for it. And these guys are there going lie low to do his normal show. Don't, all this. Oh my God. But you people don't understand. But at the end of the day, what happened? They rescue him by giving him international show, which is Polo. But this is where everything started from. The jealousy. The jealousy. I wish somebody can back Mohbad up at that point. Maybe his dad. But because that man there's no awareness for that man about the industry. He could have look at what they did to Burna Boy when he first came to Lagos with, I want to remember this short guy. They throw him out from in Lekki. Go and look at all these things. They throw Burna Boy out in Lekki. This guy rescue Burna Boy. Femi rescue Burna Boy. Put him in his house. He said, don't worry. You bounce back up again. And they give him OT. It's not everything you say in the industry. You have to keep quiet. Put everything in your stomach. But the moment Burna Boy, spring up a little bit, the mother came for him straight away. God, in fact, that God, he covered his son. No weapon fashioned against my son shall prosper. I will follow you. You are a star. This is exactly what Mohbad is supposed to go to. But the family, they don't understand. They are fighting each other. Because of 5 million. And somebody in that house is tormenting your son underground, sending signal back to the enemy. They deleted all the evidence that Mohbad have through Sam Larry, that he had some evidence. Naira Marley and Sam Larry, and most of the industry, all voice note, Wunmi wipe everything. They've started planning all these things for Mohbad. So for her to delete everything, Wunmi is involved. She's 100% involved. You need to tell us what by Mohbad. That's number 3. Sam Larry, Naira Marley, and the people in the house, and those are far. So my contribution tonight, I would just say, I don't know how you guys feel. My feelings about this thing is, for Very Dark Man, I know you are playing your game proper. You are dealing with Iyabo Ojo at the moment, but don't use sentiment. We need justice for Mohbad. So that we can know what by Mohbad. That is it. Titi Kush, please, you can carry on. My break is, I'll finished my break. Thank you.